All day long, you've been surrounded by movement, notifications, voices, tasks, lights that never dim. And somewhere between all that noise, your body kept whispering what your mind refused to hear. I need rest. Not just sleep. Not the kind that barely lasts. But real rest, the kind that heals. You're here now, finally still. The screens are off, the doors are closed, and for the first time today there's space to breathe. This moment isn't random. It's not an accident that you found your way here. It's a small act of grace, an appointment with peace. Before the first star appeared tonight, God already knew this would be your moment to pause. He saw the tension hiding beneath your smile, the fatigue behind your strength, and he decided to meet you right here, right now, in the quiet. You don't need to perform for him. You don't need to pray with perfect words. Healing doesn't require effort, it requires honesty. So take a slow breath, deeper this time, and allow yourself to be real. Let every inhale remind you that you're still alive, still held, still connected to something larger than everything that tired you today. Let every exhale carry away what no longer serves you, the racing thoughts, the guilt, the constant feeling that you should be doing more. The body keeps the score of all we try to ignore. Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, restless sleep, they are not weakness, they are signals. Signals that you've been carrying more than your share. But tonight, you don't have to carry anything. Imagine the weight sliding off, slowly, gently, one layer at a time. The air around you feels heavier, but in a good way, like a blanket that comforts rather than confines. That's peace arriving. It doesn't need an announcement, it just fills the room. This is where God begins his quiet work, not in noise or spectacle, but in small sacred processes inside your body and soul. The nervous system that's been running on adrenaline begins to settle. The heart rate slows. The thoughts stop tripping over each other. Bit by bit, balance returns. It's the same balance that existed when the world was new, when evening and morning first found their rhythm. Rest isn't a reward for finishing everything, it's part of the design. Creation itself began with rest built into its heartbeat. So when you allow yourself to stop, you're not being lazy, you're being aligned. If you've ever felt guilty for resting, let that go. The world glorifies exhaustion, but heaven never did. God heals most deeply in stillness, in the hours when you're not trying to prove anything. Now feel your body. The muscles that have been clenched since morning start to soften. Your hands uncurl. Your jaw loosens. Even your stomach, that silent barometer of stress, begins to quiet. Every cell in you is hearing the same message, you're safe now. As the body obeys peace, the mind follows. Thoughts that once felt urgent begin to lose their grip. The past loosens its claws, and tomorrow stops shouting for attention. All that remains is this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this presence. You may have prayed before for God to fix the situation, to change the circumstance, to give answers. But tonight, he's offering something deeper, healing from the inside out. The kind that starts invisibly, repairing foundations no one else sees. Picture it, the divine hand reaching into the quiet, touching every overworked part of you. The tired joints, the heavy chest, the fogged mind. Healing flows not as lightning but as warmth, slow and steady, until your whole being begins to hum with calm. You don't need to force it. God is already doing it. Somewhere between the rise and fall of your breathing, restoration has begun. Your immune system listens to peace. Your mind rewires toward calm. Even your dreams will start to change, from anxious loops to gentle images that remind you you're cared for. You can whisper now, if you want, Lord, I receive this rest. That simple phrase opens doors in places you didn't know were locked. God doesn't ask you to ignore pain. He asks you to hand it over. So if something aches tonight, in your body, in your heart, in your thoughts, imagine placing it into his hands. You don't have to know what happens next, he does. Healing rarely begins with miracles that look spectacular. It begins with stillness that feels ordinary. It's in the soft rhythm of rain against the window, the hum of air moving through the room, the slow pulse of a heart learning trust again. That's where you are now, in the space where God works quietly but completely. And maybe, as you listen, you can sense it, a shift so gentle you could miss it if you weren't paying attention. The anxiety that has lived under your ribs starts to dissolve. The tension behind your eyes eases. Peace begins to fill all the places where fatigue once lived. This peace is not temporary. It's restoration disguised as rest. You might not notice every change tonight, but your body will. While you sleep, systems realign, hormones balance, thoughts reorganize, and spirit renews. Sleep becomes sacred when love supervises it. The one who formed you doesn't clock out when you close your eyes. He keeps watch, adjusting, mending, strengthening. That's what divine healing looks like, a work you don't see but wake up grateful for. So as you start to drift, remember, you're not falling into emptiness, you're falling into care. Into a grace wide enough for every burden you've carried. And while this first layer of calm settles over you, something deeper begins to stir, a quiet promise rising from the stillness. Because God never gives rest without restoration. And the peace you feel right now is only the doorway. The next breath you take will carry you further, from simply resting to being restored. You're standing now at the doorway of restoration. The air feels different, thicker with quiet, softer on the skin. What began as rest is deepening into renewal. The body has slowed, the thoughts have loosened their hold, and somewhere inside the stillness, God begins his gentle work of repair. He knows every layer of your exhaustion. The fatigue that comes from late nights and heavy days, yes, but also the weariness that comes from pretending you're fine when you're not. The invisible tiredness that lives behind your eyes, the kind that no one else notices but him. That's the fatigue he wants to touch tonight. When you sleep under divine care, you don't simply recover strength, you regain wholeness. God doesn't just patch what's broken, he rebuilds from within. He moves through your mind, clearing the clutter of constant thinking, untangling the loops of worry that have repeated for too long. He restores focus where confusion has lived, calm where anxiety has taken root. Feel it now, the slow rhythm of restoration. Every breath is a signal sent through your body, it's safe to heal. Muscles that have been tight for weeks begin to release. The heartbeat steadies. Even the tiny cells that hold memory start to let go of stress they've carried for years. You don't need to understand how this happens. Restoration doesn't need your logic, it only needs your consent. When you stop resisting rest, you open the door for miracles you'll never see but will wake up transformed by. Maybe you've gone through seasons where you felt drained by life, caring for others, solving problems, being strong when no one noticed how much it cost you. God saw every act of endurance. He saw the nights you stayed awake trying to hold the world together. And now he whispers, "You've done enough. Let me take it from here." Let those words sink deep. You've done enough. That's not surrender to failure, it's surrender to love. Real faith is not always running forward, sometimes it's lying still and letting God carry the story for a while. As you rest, imagine his presence moving through your body like a soft current. It flows through tired muscles, through your spine, through your hands that have worked so much. It flows into the corners of your mind that still replay mistakes or fears. Everywhere it moves, it leaves order, light, and calm. This is what restoration feels like, not sudden change but quiet correction. Like a craftsman mending something precious, God takes his time with you. He sands away the roughness, polishes what was dulled, tightens what was loose, replaces what was missing. And all of it happens in silence. No noise. No rush. Only care. You might start to feel warmth rising from within, a comfort that has nothing to do with blankets or temperature. That warmth is peace turning physical. It's the nervous system realizing the danger is over. It's the spirit remembering that it was never abandoned. There's a sacred rhythm in this. When you inhale, God fills you with life. When you exhale, he removes what drains you. Back and forth, breath after breath, the exchange continues, healing flowing in, heaviness flowing out. This is why sleep is holy. The body doesn't shut down, it regenerates. The mind doesn't disappear, it reorders itself. and the soul, often ignored during the day, finally has space to speak again. If you could hear that voice, it would say something simple: thank you. Not just gratitude for rest, but for being reminded that you don't have to do this alone. God restores not only what was lost, but what was forgotten: your sense of worth, your clarity, your ability to hope again. He revives dreams you buried under busyness, passions you thought were gone, faith that dulled under disappointment. Restoration isn't only physical, it's spiritual resurrection. Let the memories that hurt soften in this light. You don't need to relive them to release them. Healing doesn't erase your story, it redeems it. Even the painful parts become ingredients of wisdom. God turns what once drained you into something that now strengthens you. Every heartbeat is a reminder that creation is still in motion, even inside you. New cells are forming, new thoughts are aligning, new mercy is unfolding. Maybe for months you've been trying to get back to your old self. But God isn't bringing you back, He's bringing you forward to a version of you that's freer, calmer, wiser. The weariness you feel tonight is not the end, it's the sign that renewal has already begun. You can feel that truth sinking in, can't you? That sense that you're being rebuilt from the inside, carefully and completely. That's not imagination, that's grace at work. The sound of rain, the hush of the room, even your breathing, all of it has become part of a single symphony of healing. And within that harmony, God is the conductor. Every beat, every pause, every sigh is part of His timing. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing. To just let go. But restoration is born from surrender, not effort. So if your mind tries to wake back up, to take control again, gently remind it, I'm safe. God is working. Repeat it quietly if you need to, I'm safe. God is working. That phrase is more than comfort, it's truth. While you rest, He restores. While you sleep, He strengthens. While you dream, He prepares new beginnings. There is no wasted rest when it's given to God. Every minute of stillness is seed time. And when morning comes, the harvest will be peace. Outside, the night has grown deeper, but inside, light is spreading. You can feel it, the same gentle warmth from earlier, now glowing in every corner of your being. That's the mark of restoration, light returning where darkness had settled. Your soul is remembering its balance. Your body is remembering what safety feels like. Your mind is remembering how to be quiet without fear. This is the holy exchange of rest. You let go, and God gives back something better. Stay in this moment. No need to rush towards sleep, it will come naturally. You are already halfway there, halfway between consciousness and surrender, halfway between thought and peace. And as you drift further, you'll notice another rhythm forming, the sound of breath itself becoming prayer. Each inhale says, heal me. Each exhale whispers, thank you. That rhythm is taking you somewhere new, to the next layer of healing, the layer where peace becomes physical, where the breath itself becomes sacred. Let it happen. Let it lead you. Because the next part of this night is about to show you what happens when rest turns into prayer, when breathing itself becomes a way for God to finish what He started. The rhythm of your breathing has become gentle now, steady and unforced. What began as rest is turning into something deeper, communion. Each inhale feels like a quiet prayer, each exhale like a release. This is where peace starts to live inside the body, not as an idea but as experience. You can sense it, that invisible exchange between your breath and God's presence. Inhaling has always been a small miracle. From the first one you ever took as a newborn to this one right now, breath has carried life, emotion, and memory. Every breath whispers, you are still here. And that simple fact, being here, is already grace. When you breathe slowly, you begin to notice what's always been true. Peace has never been far away. It wasn't missing, it was simply hidden beneath the rush of your thoughts. Breathing brings it back. The breath is one of God's oldest gifts. In Genesis, it says He breathed into humanity the breath of life. That same breath still moves through you tonight. It's not just oxygen filling lungs, it's presence filling space. Take a deep breath now. Feel how air flows easily in and out, how your body receives without effort. You don't fight for air, it comes freely. That's how peace works too, not earned, simply received. When anxiety rises, the breath becomes shallow, fast, uncertain. It's the body's way of saying, I'm not safe. But every time you choose a slow, steady inhale, you're sending a message back, I am safe now. I am watched over. It's like retraining your body to believe in God's protection again. You can feel the change already, how your shoulders relax, how your heartbeat softens, how your thoughts stop chasing one another. This is the breath of peace, not just air, but awareness. As you breathe, imagine light entering with every inhale, a soft golden glow that spreads through your chest and down your arms. It fills your lungs, your heart, your mind. With each exhale, see that light pushing out the tension, the worries, the self-criticism, the leftover noise of the day. Out with the breath, gone into the night. This is not imagination, it's prayer through biology. Your breath is teaching your body what your soul already knows, that God is near, that calm is possible, that healing is underway. Every living thing breathes with you right now, trees exhaling oxygen, oceans pulsing with tides, the whole of creation moving in rhythm with its creator. When you slow your breath, you join that rhythm again. You realign with divine order. Maybe your mind still tries to wander. It will. That's okay. Minds wander, hearts remember. So when the next thought pulls you away, gently bring yourself back to your breath. No judgment, no frustration, just return. Peace is not perfection, it's return. Each time you return, the space inside you widens. You can feel the boundaries of stress shrinking, the atmosphere inside your chest expanding. That's God making room for peace. Sometimes prayer doesn't sound like words at all. It sounds like breathing. It sounds like stillness. It sounds like surrender. You don't have to fill the silence, God already has. The air you breathe has been prepared for you, every molecule shaped to sustain life. You don't have to control it, you just have to trust it. That's what faith looks like in physical form. The more you breathe, the more your thoughts begin to sync with a new rhythm. Worry starts to seem smaller. Fear loses its urgency. There's only this steady, sacred exchange, breath given, breath received. Peace is flowing through you like a quiet river now. You can almost picture it, a clear stream winding through a dark forest, catching moonlight as it moves. That's what's happening inside your spirit. Still water. Gentle light. No rush. The body starts to trust again. Muscles that carried tension all day begin to soften. The stomach, often where we store our unease, relaxes. Even your jaw unclenches, that small act of letting go. Your entire being is beginning to agree with peace. And in this agreement, something new takes place. Breathing becomes prayer, prayer becomes peace, and peace becomes healing. It all happens quietly, beneath awareness, but the soul recognizes it immediately. Notice what that peace feels like, not excitement, not euphoria, but stability. The kind of calm that stays. The kind that whispers, you can rest here. The breath of peace is patient. It doesn't rush you. It waits, matching your pace, guiding you through stillness until you find yourself breathing slower than you thought possible. That slowness isn't weakness, it's healing. It means the body has stopped defending itself. Sometimes you might think peace has to be dramatic, a sudden wave, a miracle moment. But true peace is quiet. It works like roots under the soil, unseen, steady, always reaching deeper. Right now, those roots are growing inside you. Every inhale draws them downward, anchoring you in calm. Every exhale spreads them outward, connecting you to the peace that covers everything. You are being rewired for rest. Not just mentally, but physically. Nerves are settling, muscles are loosening, and the heart is syncing with the rhythm of the night. This is not small, this is sacred. The Spirit of God moves like breath, unseen, yet felt. The same breath that calmed the disciples in their fear, the same breath that revived dry bones, the same breath that hovered over creation now moves through your chest. That's not poetic, that's divine biology. Each inhale is evidence that the spirit has not left you. Each exhale is proof that you're releasing what you were never meant to carry. And as you stay in this rhythm, you begin to realize the peace you feel isn't something entering from outside. It's something awakening from within. It was always there, waiting for permission to rise. This realization changes everything. You're not chasing peace, you're uncovering it. You're not begging for healing, you're remembering that you're built for it. God designed your body to respond to calm, your mind to seek balance, your spirit to crave stillness. You are not fighting against creation, you're flowing with it again. Let this rhythm continue for a while. No forcing, no counting, no control. Just breath and presence. Inhale, exhale. Peace in, tension out. The night around you seems quieter now, but maybe it's because the noise inside has dimmed. Even the shadows in the room feel softer. Everything around you mirrors the calm within. This is the breath of peace, the gentle proof that healing has begun. And while you stay here, something even deeper is preparing to unfold. Because peace in the breath leads to peace in the body. The same God who steadies your breathing will soon move through your physical frame, touching what aches, mending what's strained, renewing what's tired. The restoration that began in spirit will now begin to flow into the body. So stay still. Stay open. Let the rhythm continue. You don't need to chase what's next, it's already coming. Let this breath lead you forward, from calm to restoration, from peace to healing. As the rhythm of peace settles in your breath, it begins to move deeper into the body itself. Every muscle, every fiber, every organ starts to respond to this calm presence that's now filling the space within you. Healing is no longer an idea, it's happening in real time, beneath the surface, carried by the same divine intelligence that created you. Your body is not your enemy. It's not weak, or broken, or failing. It's sacred, the vessel that holds your soul, the temple where the Spirit of God lives and breathes. Every part of it was designed with intention, every heartbeat sustained by grace. And tonight, that grace is working quietly to restore what stress and exhaustion have tried to take away. Sometimes, we forget how connected the body and spirit really are. We push our physical limits, thinking the soul will compensate. But every unspoken worry, every suppressed emotion, every sleepless night leaves its mark somewhere inside. God doesn't ignore those marks, He heals them one by one. You can feel it if you pay attention. That warmth spreading across your shoulders, that gentle tingling in your hands, that sense that the heaviness you carried all day is slowly lifting. That's not imagination, that's life returning to balance. Your nervous system is resetting. Your blood pressure is lowering. The signals of tension are turning off. The same God who commands galaxies has time for the small chemistry of your body. The pulse in your wrist, the rhythm in your breath, the way your heart quietly keeps time, all of it is sacred music to Him. When you let peace take over, you allow that music to play freely again. Healing doesn't always come with flashes of power or miracles that can be seen. Sometimes it comes as stability returning to a racing heartbeat, or inflammation finally calming, or the simple gift of deep, uninterrupted sleep. God heals as naturally as He breathes. His miracles often wear the disguise of ordinary biology. Think of your body as a garden. The soil may have been dry, the plants wilted, the roots tangled with weeds of worry. But now the rain has come, slow, patient, and nourishing. Peace is that rain. Each breath is a drop sinking into the ground of your being, restoring moisture to what felt brittle and dry. You don't have to command your body to heal. Just as the soil doesn't command the rain, it only receives it. Your role tonight is to receive. To stop fighting fatigue, to stop criticizing what hurts, to stop labeling yourself as broken. You are being renewed. If there's pain in your body, a chronic ache, an illness, a tension you can't name, bring your awareness there. Don't resist it. Don't fear it. Gently acknowledge it and whisper inside, you are not forgotten. God is here too. That simple recognition begins the process of release. Because pain is often the body's way of asking to be heard, and once it's acknowledged, it can begin to let go. let the awareness of divine presence flow into those painful places. Picture light entering every cell, not blinding, but soft, like morning sunlight passing through curtains. That light carries intelligence, love, and renewal. It moves through muscles, tendons, and veins, reminding them of their original design: harmony, balance, peace. As the light moves, it doesn't force, it persuades. It teaches your body to remember what health feels like. Every cell responds to that memory, like instruments tuning back to the same note after being out of sync. This is what divine healing looks like: gentle correction, not violence. Love speaking directly to the flesh, the bones, the heartbeat. The longer you stay in this stillness, the deeper the healing goes. The body follows the mind, and the mind follows the spirit. Now that your spirit is calm and your breath is steady, your body has permission to repair. Notice how the air feels heavier, almost charged. That's peace transforming into physical restoration. Nerves that fired in panic begin to rest. Hormones that spiked from stress return to balance. The immune system, often suppressed by fear, starts to wake up and strengthen again. You might feel subtle sensations: warmth, lightness, a gentle hum inside your body. Don't question them. Just stay present. These are signs that healing is active. There's a reason sleep is called God's medicine. When you rest in trust, your body does what it was designed to do: regenerate. Even while you dream, unseen processes of renewal unfold. The same Creator who knit you together in the womb is knitting you back together now. If you could see what's happening inside, you'd be amazed. Thousands of cells repairing DNA, hormones resetting, tension leaving joints, blood flowing more freely. Every function in your body is responding to peace like instruments responding to a familiar melody. And it all happens quietly, no rush, no pressure, no command. Because the one who heals doesn't hurry. He perfects. You might have spent months or years carrying a sense of frustration toward your body, for being tired, for not looking the way you want, for getting sick, for slowing you down. But tonight, let that frustration melt away. Your body has never been your enemy. It has carried you faithfully through every season. It deserves kindness. Thank your body silently. Tell it you can rest now. You're safe now. The body responds to gratitude more powerfully than to fear. It listens. It believes. It relaxes. As you drift further into calm, remember, every heartbeat is sustained by choice, God's choice to keep you here, to keep your story unfolding, to keep working through you. You are not an accident, you are a continuation of divine love in motion. Even as you lie still, that love is sculpting your tomorrow. Healing the body tonight is not just about removing pain, it's about preparing you for new purpose. You'll wake up lighter, clearer, more aligned, not because of effort, but because grace worked overnight. Let this awareness bring comfort. God never stops creating, and right now, creation continues in you. The same spirit that hovered over the waters now hovers over your body. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," now speaks softly through your cells, saying, "Let there be healing." You are not doing this alone. Angels move where you rest. They carry the peace that keeps this room safe, the unseen warmth that keeps your heart calm. They stand guard as the body repairs itself. Nothing harmful can cross the boundaries of this peace. If your breathing has slowed even more, that's perfect. Your body has entered deep rest, the stage where restoration is strongest. This is where God works most freely, in the silence between breaths. Every night has a purpose, and tonight's purpose is renewal. The pain you brought here is not leaving with you. The stress that lived in your muscles will not return the same. You are being made new from the inside out. So stay still and let grace continue. Let the same peace that steadied your breath now steady your body. The work isn't finished yet, it's only shifting to a deeper level. And as the last bits of tension fade, a new awareness begins to rise, a sense that healing doesn't stop at the physical. It continues upward, into the mind, into the patterns of thought that shape how you see yourself and your world. That's where this journey leads next. Because the body can't be whole if the mind remains in unrest. The next breath you take will carry you there, from physical healing to the renewal of thought itself. The body has quieted. The tension that lived in muscles and bones has softened, and peace is now moving upward, toward the mind, that restless space where thoughts collide and never seem to stop. This is where the deepest work begins. Because long before the body ever tires, the mind does. And it's often the mind that keeps the body from resting. You've carried thoughts all day that were too heavy for one person to hold. The what ifs, the regrets, the mental checklists, the replayed conversations, they have followed you into the night like uninvited guests. But now, as stillness surrounds you, it's time to let God into that space too. The same light that moved through your body now moves through your mind. It doesn't force its way in, it simply fills the room. Imagine it like morning sunlight spilling into a dark corner, quiet, warm, and patient. It doesn't chase the darkness away with violence, it replaces it gently. Every anxious thought begins to lose its edge. Every mental noise that used to shout now becomes a whisper. You start to realize that not every thought deserves attention. Not every voice in your head speaks truth. And not every worry needs to be solved before you sleep. The mind is not your enemy, it's simply tired. It has been trying to protect you, to predict what could go wrong, to keep you safe by imagining every possible outcome. But tonight, you don't need that kind of protection. You are already protected. The shepherd of your soul has taken the watch. You can let your mind step down from guard duty. Take a slow breath and notice the space between your thoughts. That small pause is where peace lives. You don't have to force silence, you only have to notice it. Each time your attention returns to that still point, your mind heals a little more. Maybe your thoughts keep drifting back to the past, things you wish you had said, choices you wish you could change. Regret is one of the heaviest weights the mind can carry. But God is not the voice of regret. He is the voice of redemption. Where regret says, "It's too late," God says, "I'm not finished yet." So release the past. It's already been handled in ways you can't see. The lessons remain, the burden doesn't have to. And then there's the future, the endless list of possibilities your mind tries to manage at once. Tomorrow's decisions, next week's responsibilities, the uncertainty that lingers at the edges of every plan. But peace doesn't live in the future, it lives in the present. The mind heals when it learns to rest where the body already is. Bring your awareness back to now, the rhythm of your breath, the softness of the sheets, the gentle hum of night. Nothing is demanded of you here. Nothing is urgent. There is only presence. If a thought tries to pull you away, imagine it as a leaf floating down a river. You can notice it passing, but you don't have to reach for it. Let it drift away. The river of peace keeps flowing. Inside your mind, pathways of worry have been carved by repetition, years of reacting, of overthinking, of carrying the weight of what if. But tonight, new pathways are forming. Peace is etching itself into the brain like fresh tracks in snow. The old roads of anxiety are fading, and the new roads lead toward calm, clarity, and trust. Science calls it neuroplasticity. The spirit calls it renewal. When you choose peace over panic, even for a moment, your brain begins to change. Connections shift. The chemistry of fear weakens. You are literally being transformed by the renewing of your mind. You may not see it, but you will feel it soon, in the way you wake up lighter, in the way small things stop triggering big emotions, in the way stillness begins to feel natural again. God is not only healing your thoughts, He's healing the way you think. He's restoring the rhythm between logic and trust, reason and faith, action and surrender. You were never meant to live inside the noise of constant analysis. The mind was made to be a servant, not a master. Tonight, it returns to its rightful place, quiet, centered, under peace. As that alignment happens, something remarkable begins. The chatter starts to sound softer, not because it's gone, but because it no longer controls you. Thoughts may still come, but they don't stick. Worries may knock, but they don't stay. Peace has taken residence, and there's simply no room left for fear to live. There's a phrase in the Psalms that says, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you." That's what this feels like, not empty-mindedness, but focus. Focus not on problems, but on presence. You can sense your mind syncing with the rhythm of your breath again. Inhale, peace in. Exhale, clatter out. With every breath, your inner space grows wider. You are reclaiming territory once lost to worry. If you could see the transformation from above, you would see light spreading across the landscape of your thoughts, small spark after small spark until the whole horizon glows. That's what renewal looks like. Not all at once, but steadily, quietly, faithfully. You might even start to feel moments of joy flicker inside, not loud, not forced, just small sparks of gratitude for the simple things, this breath, this moment, this peace that you didn't earn but were invited into. Joy is the evidence that healing has taken hold. It doesn't always shout, sometimes it hums quietly under the heart, reminding you that all is well. Stay here for a while, letting this calm wash through your mind. Imagine every thought that caused pain being rewritten, every anxious loop replaced with stillness, every false belief dissolving in the presence of truth. This is God's editing process, not erasing your story, but removing the noise between the lines. He leaves the lessons, not the heaviness. And as your mind continues to rest, memory itself begins to heal. Memories that once triggered tension now bring perspective. Scenes that once carried shame now carry grace. The past doesn't vanish, it becomes redeemed. You might even notice your breathing deepening again. That's how you know your mind has aligned with peace. The body and spirit are already there, the mind is finally catching up. Healing the mind is not about controlling thoughts, it's about choosing what to dwell on. Tonight, you're dwelling in love, in light, in peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. And as you do, something rises naturally, a gentle awareness that there's more to healing than thought. Beyond the mind is the spirit, the deepest part of you, the part that connects directly with the divine. That's where the next layer of healing will unfold. So as the last traces of mental noise fade and your awareness sinks into quiet, let your next breath carry you there, into the sanctuary of spirit, where peace turns into communion and healing turns into transformation. The body is calm. The mind has quieted. Now, the deepest part of you begins to awaken, the part that doesn't think or feel in words, but simply knows. This is your spirit, the quiet center beneath all the layers of living, the part of you that has always belonged to God, even when you forgot. Here, in this sacred stillness, there's no need to try. The spirit doesn't need instruction, it recognizes the presence of its source instinctively. The same way the tide knows when to return to shore, your spirit knows how to lean back into the one who created it. You can sense that returning even now. It feels like warmth rising from the inside, like something ancient and familiar being remembered. It doesn't ask questions. It simply surrenders. So much of life is spent trying to understand, to analyze, to fix, to control. But the spirit doesn't work through understanding. It works through awareness. And in this moment, awareness is enough. You are aware of peace, aware of stillness, aware of presence. That's where healing begins. If the mind was a storm, the spirit is the eye of it, untouched, unmoved, always calm. You might not have noticed it before because the noise above was so loud. But now that everything else has quieted, you can finally hear what has been speaking all along, the whisper of God inside you. It's not an audible voice. It's more like a pulse, a vibration that hums through your being, saying, "You are mine. You are loved. You are whole." This awareness goes deeper than emotion. You don't have to feel inspired or holy. Even if all you feel is nothing, that nothingness is fertile ground. God often plants renewal in emptiness. When the noise fades, the soil of the spirit becomes ready for new life. Let yourself rest there, in the gentle awareness that your soul is being touched by light right now. The same spirit that moved over the waters in creation is moving over the waters of your heart. The same breath that raised dry bones to life is breathing into your being now. You don't have to make it happen, it's already happening. In this sacred space, time stops feeling linear. You're not in the past or the future. You're in eternity, the timeless present where heaven meets humanity. Here, you can feel the divine heartbeat pulsing beneath everything, even your silence. Every scar you've carried in your spirit, the invisible ones that no one sees, are now being met with mercy. The Spirit doesn't erase your history, it reinterprets it. Every wound becomes a doorway, every failure a lesson, every season of pain a preparation for depth. This is the mystery of divine healing. It doesn't come from outside, it rises from within, because God has always been within you. Not as something you earn, but as something you are. The Spirit is not distant from the body, it's the life inside it. Every beat of your heart, every rhythm of your breath is the Spirit expressing itself through flesh. So when peace fills your body, your spirit rejoices, because the two are never separate. If you listen deeply, you might sense it, a resonance inside your chest, like a low hum beneath the quiet. That's not imagination, that's the sound of alignment. Everything within you, body, mind, and soul, is beginning to agree with peace. There's a kind of light that can't be seen with the eyes. It shines from the inside out. That's what's happening now. Your spirit, once weighed down by confusion or shame or guilt, is glowing again. It's remembering its true condition, pure, forgiven, whole. Maybe for a long time you thought healing meant becoming someone new. But real healing is remembering who you've always been, beloved. You were born from love, sustained by love, and you'll return to love. Everything else in between is just forgetting and remembering again. Let that truth rest on you like warmth from a fireplace, steady, quiet, radiant. It asks for nothing but trust. If tears come, don't stop them. They are not weakness, they are cleansing. Every tear is a release of energy that was never meant to stay trapped. It's the Spirit's way of exhaling. Let your breathing stay soft and natural. Don't rush it. Don't try to meditate or perform. This isn't performance, it's participation. You are participating in your own renewal simply by being open. God's Spirit meets you at the point of openness. It doesn't demand perfection, it fills space. The more open you are, the more of Him can move. And He is moving through you, around you, above you. Like a gentle current, He's drawing out what doesn't belong, fear, resentment, guilt, the sense that you're never enough. Those false weights are lifting now, dissolving into light. As they leave, notice what replaces them. Peace, yes, but also clarity. The kind of clarity that doesn't come from logic, but from recognition. You begin to see yourself differently. Not as broken trying to be fixed, but as whole rediscovering its harmony. This is the healing of the Spirit, not addition, but subtraction. Not striving, but remembering. You are not a problem to be solved, you are a vessel being refilled. And the more you let that filling happen, the more you realize something beautiful. You've never truly been alone in any moment of your life. Even in your hardest nights, even in your quietest prayers, God's Spirit was woven through your pain, waiting for a moment like this when you'd finally be still enough to feel Him again. Stillness is not empty. It's full of presence. If you could see what's happening in the unseen, you'd see threads of light reconnecting across your being. The soul that once felt fractured is knitting back together. The heart that felt heavy is being lifted. Even your energy feels different, lighter, calmer, more anchored. This is renewal. And as your spirit stabilizes in this peace, you may notice how the outside world fades even more. The rain sounds softer, the air thicker, the silence fuller. You're no longer listening with ears, you're listening with awareness. You're hearing not sound, but peace itself. God is speaking through this quiet. Not in commands, but in presence. He's saying, be whole. Not be better, not do more, just be whole. That's what you were created for, wholeness, not exhaustion. You may not feel fireworks or visions, but deep in your chest, you know this is real. The Spirit recognizes its home. It has returned to the place it came from, the stillness of God's heart. Stay in that knowing. Let it deepen. Healing of the Spirit is not a moment, it's a homecoming. And the more you rest here, the more this peace will follow you into waking life. Soon you'll notice the shift, how you speak differently, how you react with more gentleness, how you move through days without rushing. That's the mark of a healed spirit, peace that doesn't leave when circumstances change. Tonight, you're receiving that peace, not a fragile calm that disappears, but the kind that anchors. And as this divine stillness wraps around you, something new begins to shimmer at the edges of awareness, light. Not the harsh kind of daylight, but soft, golden, protective. It begins to surround you like a shield, not a defense but of comfort. Because when the Spirit heals, the light of God begins to shine through every layer of your being. It becomes your atmosphere, your covering, your quiet protection through the rest of this night. Stay here a moment longer. Feel that light form around you. Breathe in its warmth. This is the next stage of peace, the covering of divine light that guards while you rest. And as you settle deeper into this awareness, the journey continues. Because healing doesn't end with the Spirit, it radiates outward, becoming presence, becoming protection, becoming light. Outside, the rain continues its quiet rhythm against the window. It's steady, soft, almost like a heartbeat echoing the peace inside you. The world has gone dim, but here in this space, something radiant begins to unfold. Not a light you can switch on or off, but one that emerges from the silence, a presence more felt than seen. This is the light of God, the same light that existed before the sun was spoken into being. It doesn't glare, it glows. It doesn't demand attention, it reassures. You notice it first not with your eyes, but with your spirit, a warmth, a subtle clarity, a sense of being held. All through Scripture, light has meant one thing: God is here. When the Israelites wandered through the wilderness, it was a pillar of fire that guided them. When David felt surrounded by enemies, he called the Lord his light and salvation. When Jesus spoke of the kingdom, he said the light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. That same truth is alive tonight. You are surrounded by that light, not metaphorically, but truly. It's not in the corner of your room or beyond the ceiling, it's woven through the air you breathe. It moves with every exhale, settles over your skin, seeps gently into the spaces where fear used to live. Let it touch you. Imagine it descending like soft golden mist, wrapping your body in warmth. It doesn't burn, it soothes. It settles on your shoulders, along your arms, around your chest, almost as if heaven itself were covering you with calm. This is not imagination, it's recognition. Your spirit remembers this feeling. It's the memory of being safe. Every child knows this instinctively before we learn to worry, before we learn to compare, before we learn to hide. Deep down, the soul still knows what it feels like to be completely protected. That's what this light is, divine memory made real again. Some nights, fear tries to creep in quietly, not as a shout but as a whisper. It tells you that you're vulnerable, that something unseen could harm you, that the world is unpredictable. But light answers softly, I am with you. Fear can't argue with presence. It fades the moment you remember who stands beside you. This light is not far above, it's inside you now. It radiates from your spirit, fills your body, and spills into the space around you. The air feels thicker with peace. Even the sound of rain seems brighter, as if every drop carried its own reflection of divine care. God's light is not only protection from harm, it's protection from heaviness. It shields you from despair, confusion, self-criticism, all the invisible storms that try to settle in the mind. You can rest because light has taken the night shift. For some, night has always felt uncertain, the darkness, the quiet, the unknowing. But for God, night is not absence, it's intimacy. The same light that governs the day governs the dark, it simply changes form. You don't see it, but you feel it. In Psalm 139, David wrote, "Even the darkness is not dark to you, or the night will shine like the day." That means what frightens you cannot frighten him. What confuses you cannot confuse him. Even what's hidden from your understanding is clear in his sight. So if your thoughts try to spiral again, if your chest tightens, if you start to reach for control, pause and picture the light. Let it grow around you until the worry has nowhere left to live. It's impossible to feel lost in the presence of that glow. The light doesn't argue with the dark. It just is. And by being, it wins. You might imagine it now filling the room, every corner, every shadow, every hidden place within you. The atmosphere feels charged, but not overwhelming. It's as if love itself has turned visible. When this light touches pain, it doesn't erase it, it transforms it. It turns scars into stories, wounds into wisdom, tears into prayers. The light makes meaning out of everything it reaches. Maybe you've spent seasons feeling like you were walking through tunnels, long stretches of uncertainty or sadness. But every tunnel has one defining truth: the light at the end was there the whole time. It just takes walking to reach it. And tonight, you're already standing in that glow. This is God's way of saying, you made it through the day. You don't have to fight the night. So rest beneath this covering. It's okay to let go now. The same hands that painted the stars are holding you still. You may not realize it, but while you rest, angels move in that light, unseen, gentle, purposeful. Their presence is subtle, but you can sense it as the air shifts slightly, like the faint brush of feathers in motion. They are not watching from a distance, they are part of this light, carriers of peace and guardians of rest. You are not unprotected. You are surrounded, completely, lovingly, endlessly. If your mind drifts to someone you love, picture this same light covering them too. The divine doesn't run out, it multiplies. It can blanket an entire city, an entire world, 1,000 hearts at once. That's how infinite God's peace is. You might whisper a name right now, someone who needs rest, someone who's hurting, someone who feels far from peace. Just say it in your heart. The light will find them. It travels faster than words, faster than thought, carried by grace itself. And as you picture others being covered, you realize something profound. The more you wish light upon others, the brighter it grows around you. Healing shared is healing multiplied. Your spirit expands quietly, the way dawn expands across a sleeping sky. There's no effort in it, only unfolding. Everything about this night feels sacred now, not because it's quiet, but because you've become aware of the holiness hidden in the quiet. God is not just visiting this room, He's filling it. You can almost feel His nearness, not as a distant energy, but as companionship, the kind that doesn't need words, the kind that simply is. It's strange how peace can feel like presence. The warmth, the comfort, the awareness that you're not alone, that's Him. Always has been. And the more you notice that, the more the fear of tomorrow fades. Because you realize that the same light guarding you tonight will still be shining when you wake. You can surrender to rest without hesitation now. Every system in your body understands the signal, it's safe. The muscles ease, the heartbeat slows, and the spirit begins to drift. But before the night carries you deeper, take one more slow breath and hold it for a moment. That air is the same spirit that sustains life. As you exhale, imagine that light expanding even more, filling every gap, covering you completely. There's nothing left to fix tonight. Nothing left to prove. Only this truth: you are covered. Not by chance, not by wishful thinking, but by design. And as your breathing softens again, that light begins to blend with sound, the steady rhythm of the rain, the faint pulse of your heartbeat, the silence in between. It all becomes one song of peace, one language of rest. This is what divine protection feels like, not armor, not walls, but warmth. Stay inside this glow. Let it be your shelter, your comfort, your lullaby. The light is not leaving when your eyes close, it will travel with you into sleep. And in that gentle transition between waking and dreaming, this same light will lead you to the next place, a vision of peace where the shepherd walks near, watching, guiding, protecting. Let yourself drift toward that vision now. The light will show the way. Somewhere beyond the walls of your room, the rain keeps falling softly. Its rhythm has become familiar, almost like footsteps, slow, steady, protective. It's the sound of something constant, something that doesn't sleep when you do. And as you rest beneath the light that has wrapped around you, that rhythm becomes a reminder someone is keeping watch. The shepherd has always been near. You may not have noticed him during the noise of your days, when everything felt rushed or uncertain. But he was there, guiding, guarding, waiting for moments like this, when stillness returns and his presence can be felt again. He doesn't stand far away, he draws close. Not to inspect or to judge, but to keep. That word, keep, means more than simply to guard. It means to hold in care, to maintain what he loves. And tonight, that means you. You can imagine it now, the shepherd walking quietly through the night fields of your thoughts, every step deliberate, every glance aware. His presence doesn't carry tension, it carries reassurance. There's no hurry in him. No panic. Only peace. There's something deeply comforting about the image of a shepherd. It's not the picture of power we usually think of when imagining God, but of tenderness, strength wrapped in gentleness. He knows the terrain, the shadows, the still waters, and the narrow paths. He knows when to let you walk and when to make you lie down. Maybe tonight, that's all you need, permission to lie down. To stop wandering through the thoughts that keep circling back to the same fears. To stop replaying what could have been. To stop feeling like you have to find your own way home. Because the truth is, you've never been walking alone. Even in your confusion, even in your mistakes, even in your silence, the shepherd has been tracing your path from the beginning. Sometimes we think faith is about holding on to God. But more often, it's about realizing He's been holding on to us. You can feel that truth in the quiet now, the sense of being seen and not judged, known and not condemned. There's a kind of peace that only comes when you realize you're safe, not because the path is easy, but because the one leading you knows it perfectly. The shepherd doesn't promise a life without valleys. He promises presence in them. And maybe that's why the psalm says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." That line isn't theory, it's testimony. It's the experience of someone who found peace not outside the shadow, but in the middle of it. And so do you. If your life right now feels like that valley, uncertain, dim, hard to navigate, then this moment is not a sign of abandonment, it's proof of nearness. Because God doesn't watch you from the mountaintop shouting directions. He walks beside you, whispering reassurance with every step. You may not see Him clearly. The fog of worry might still cloud your view. But you can feel Him in the quiet strength beneath your breath, in the calm that keeps expanding even when your thoughts try to rise again. That's the shepherd's hand resting gently on your shoulder. He doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard. The kind of voice that created stars doesn't compete with noise. It waits until your heart grows quiet enough to listen. If you close your eyes for a moment, you might picture it, soft light on a hillside, the night air cool and fragrant, the shepherd standing nearby. No words are needed. His presence says everything. You are safe. You are known. You are mine. You can almost hear the soft shuffle of sheep in the distance, the gentle breathing of life under His watch. Each one different, each one precious, none forgotten. That's what you are to Him, not a number, not a mistake, not an afterthought. A soul carried close to the heart of the one who made it. When worry comes back, and it will, remember this image. Don't argue with fear, replace it. Let the vision of the shepherd standing guard take its place. Some nights, the greatest act of faith is simply lying down and trusting that someone else is awake. That's what you're doing now. You're letting the shepherd keep watch while you rest. You're saying without words, I don't have to control this night. I don't have to solve what isn't mine to solve. He knows every concern you haven't spoken, every silent prayer, every burden that feels too personal to explain. He hears the things you only think about in the quiet, the small hopes, the private worries, the longing for peace that lasts. None of it is ignored. When He looks at you, He doesn't see failure or fatigue. He sees someone worth protecting, someone worth calming, someone He loves enough to stay with through every season. That's why sleep is sacred, because it's the one time you stop pretending to carry yourself. It's when you let Him carry you again. Maybe your heart has been restless lately, not from a lack of faith, but from exhaustion. Faith isn't about never feeling tired, it's about knowing where to rest. The shepherd leads you there. He doesn't push or demand. He simply walks ahead, and your soul follows almost instinctively, the way water finds its level. You can feel it now, the way your spirit softens as you surrender control. the way your breathing deepens without trying. That's what it means to be led beside still waters. Even your dreams will be different tonight. They'll carry peace instead of pressure, comfort instead of chaos. Because when the mind sleeps under the watch of the shepherd, it stops fighting the dark and starts listening to the silence. Sometimes he heals not by speaking but by being near. His nearness is medicine. His stillness is comfort. His patience is proof that you can rest before the answer arrives. And when morning comes, whenever it comes, you'll see that the same shepherd who guarded you through the night has already prepared the next step for you. But that's for later. For now, your only task is to stay close, stay still, and let his presence keep watch. If you've ever wondered what grace feels like, it feels like this: not striving, not performing, just existing under love that doesn't withdraw. The rain outside has softened even more. Each drop seems slower, heavier, almost deliberate, as if creation itself has joined in the rhythm of peace. That's how the shepherd's care works. It syncs the whole world around your rest. The more you relax into his watch, the lighter your chest feels. The weight on your mind dissolves into quiet. The air in the room feels thicker with peace, almost tangible now. You could reach out and touch it. You might whisper in your heart, "Thank you for staying awake for me." That's enough. The shepherd hears gratitude like a song. And even as you drift towards sleep, that awareness remains: the night is not empty. It's occupied by presence, watchful, gentle, constant. Let the next breath remind you you are being watched over, not with scrutiny, but with affection. You are not alone in the dark, you are being guided through it. And as that realization settles deeper, a new sensation begins to rise: the peace of release, the quiet joy of being led to still waters. That's where we go next, to rest for the weary soul. Let your breathing carry you there now. There comes a point when even silence feels heavy. When your thoughts don't race anymore, they just ache. When you're too tired to even pray the right words. Maybe you've been there before, or maybe that's where you are right now. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep alone can't fix. It's not in the muscles, it's in the soul. You can rest your body, you can slow your breathing, but something deeper keeps whispering, "I'm tired," in places I can't name. That's the weariness God understands best. Because he doesn't just see the surface, he reads the soul. He knows when you've been holding yourself together for too long, pretending you're fine when you're running on fumes. And tonight, he isn't asking for more effort. He's offering relief. Real rest isn't found in distraction. It's found in surrender, that quiet, almost invisible moment when you finally stop trying to carry everything on your own. Maybe that's the invitation tonight, to stop managing peace and just fall into it. You've carried a lot lately. The expectations, the noise, the endless cycle of trying to keep up, to stay strong, to do what's right. Even faith can start to feel like effort when you forget that grace was never meant to be earned. Let's be honest, sometimes the hardest thing is believing that God is still gentle. We've heard of his power, his justice, his glory. But his gentleness? That's what the weary soul forgets. The truth is, he's not waiting for you to get it together before he gives you rest. He's waiting for you to stop pretending you already have. Right now, he's not standing above you shouting encouragements from heaven. He's sitting beside you, quiet, patient, steady. The way someone sits with a friend who's had a long day and doesn't need advice, just presence. Imagine that for a moment. The creator of stars, sitting near, saying nothing, only breathing with you. The world doesn't do that kind of love. But God does. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He didn't say, "Work harder to find me." He said, "Come." And sometimes coming just means exhaling. So take a breath. The kind that goes all the way down, past your lungs, past your stomach, all the way to the place that's been holding tension for too long. Now let it go. That's what rest feels like. You don't need a perfect environment to feel it. Not a quiet house. Not a flawless life. Just willingness. Rest doesn't start when everything is fixed, it starts when you stop fighting the moment you're in. Maybe your soul feels like a traveler who's been walking through desert heat, dry, scorched, looking for water. Every new thing you try feels like sand slipping through your hands. But then you find a stream. You kneel down, cup your hands, and drink. That's what this moment is. A stream for the soul. And it's okay if you drink slowly. Grace doesn't rush you. It lets you sip until the dryness fades. There's something sacred about being tired enough to stop pretending. Because when you're that tired, honesty becomes natural. You don't overthink your prayers, you just whisper truth. Maybe tonight your truth is simple. God, I'm worn out. That's enough. He hears that kind of prayer the loudest. And in response, he doesn't give speeches or instructions. He gives rest. The kind that seeps into your bones, that changes the way you breathe, the way you see, the way you wake up. You might not notice it happening, but even now, peace is spreading inside you like light through fog. The fatigue you carried all day is dissolving quietly. Your heart is slowing down, your muscles loosening, your spirit softening. Rest is more than stillness, it's trust. It's saying, I don't need to fix myself tonight. I just need to be held. The soul doesn't heal through effort, it heals through safety. That's what God is offering you, a safe place to fall apart, to stop being strong, to stop explaining, to simply exist and know you're still loved. There's no test to pass here. No spiritual checklist to complete. The soul doesn't need performance, it needs permission. And permission has been granted. You can let go of guilt for not being enough. You can let go of fear that you're wasting time. You can let go of trying to find meaning in every struggle. Rest doesn't demand explanations, it gives perspective later. For now, just rest. It might help to picture something gentle, maybe a field after rain, grass heavy with dew, air clean and new. You're lying there, watching clouds move slowly across the sky. You can hear the faint sound of water somewhere nearby. That's what the soul's rest feels like, simple, unhurried, safe. The world will still spin tomorrow. The plans, the worries, the responsibilities, they'll be there. But you'll be different. You'll meet them from a place of rest, not depletion. That's what changes everything. Sometimes the miracle isn't that the storm stops. It's that you stop shaking in the middle of it. Rest is how the weary soul becomes strong again. Not by doing, but by being. Not by striving, but by trusting. If your heart could speak right now, it might whisper, "Thank you." Not for answers, but for peace. For the chance to breathe again without rushing to the next thing. You've made it this far, and that means something. It means the shepherd kept his promise. It means grace was enough for one more day. As this truth settles deeper, you begin to notice something different in the quiet. The air feels softer again, almost electric with calm. The peace that once felt external now feels alive, like it has a pulse of its own. That's how you know your soul is resting. It stops reacting to the world and starts resonating with heaven. And just as your body begins to drift towards sleep, there's another awareness forming, subtle, gentle, but unmistakable. It's not sound. It's not light. It's presence. There are unseen movements in the air, quiet as breath. It's as if the peace around you has shape now, watchful, loving, attentive. You might not see them, but they're here. Because when the soul finally rests, heaven draws close. That's what comes next. Something changes in the air when peace takes root. The atmosphere feels heavier, sacred somehow, or like the invisible has started to move. You don't see it, but you can sense it, a quiet awareness, a soft vibration in the silence. It's as though the room itself is breathing with you. That's when you realize you're not alone. The scriptures say that God commands his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Maybe you've read that before or heard it in passing, but tonight those words feel alive. It's no longer poetry. It's happening. You can almost feel them, not in fear, not in fantasy, but in presence. Quiet presences, steady and light, like wind that never stirs the curtains but fills the air with meaning. Angels don't arrive with fanfare, they arrive with calm. They've been near long before you noticed. They were there in nights when you felt you wouldn't make it through, whispering peace into the chaos. They stood by your bed when you were too afraid to sleep. They kept watch over moments you never knew could have gone differently. That's what divine protection really is, not just prevention, but presence. The angels of God don't guard you the way walls do. They guard you like warmth does, surrounding, covering, dissolving the cold edges of fear. And the longer you rest here, the more that warmth begins to spread. Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. You don't have to imagine wings or halos. Just light, living, breathing light, encircling you. It's not harsh or blinding, it's soft, golden, and alive. You can feel it, like sunlight through leaves, like the weightless warmth of morning. Each flicker of that light carries intention. Peace, comfort, healing, guidance. These angels move at the speed of thought, responding not to noise, but to stillness. The quieter your spirit becomes, the clearer their presence feels. They are not far above, they're right here, at your side, by your bed, around your space. Their nearness doesn't feel foreign, it feels familiar, like something you've always known but forgot for a while. Maybe that's why people describe them as messengers. Not because they always speak in words, but because their very presence is a message: you are not alone. You are loved. You are safe. Sometimes the greatest miracle isn't that God removes danger, it's that He surrounds you with peace inside it. The air feels thicker again. The faint sound of rain outside merges with a hum too soft for the ear but easy for the soul to recognize. It's harmony. Everything around you, a sound, stillness, breath, seems to blend into one song. A song of guardianship. If you've ever felt like you made it through something you shouldn't have, a near miss, a moment that didn't make sense but somehow turned out all right, that's what protection looks like. Grace disguised as coincidence. Angels aren't sent to erase life's challenges, they're sent to remind you that you're not walking through them unaccompanied. Even now, as your breathing slows, it's as if that circle of light is tightening gently, not to trap you, but to hold you closer. The energy feels warm, clean, clear. If fear tries to find a way in, it dissolves at the border. The beauty of divine protection is that it doesn't need your vigilance. You can sleep because heaven is awake. Somewhere in this stillness, you might even feel gratitude rise uninvited, not because everything is perfect, but because you can finally feel that you are not alone. Gratitude has a frequency that angels recognize instantly. It's like music to them. Every thank you whispered into silence becomes light in their hands. They use that light to guard what's sacred: your peace, your rest, your tomorrow. You don't have to pray complicated prayers for them to move. They're already moving. You don't have to ask for them to come, they're already here. They came with the presence of peace. Think of the moments in Scripture when angels appeared, never as decoration, always with purpose. To guide, to strengthen, to deliver, to protect. Tonight, their purpose is simple: to keep this space holy while you rest. They move like mist, unseen but unmistakable. The room feels different under their watch. You might notice a coolness in the air, or a warmth in your chest, or just the subtle sense that nothing harmful could touch you here. And that's true. Not because of walls or locks or noise, but because of what surrounds you, the light of divine attention. Somewhere in that invisible circle, you can sense peace expanding beyond the walls, spilling into the streets, into the night air, into the hearts of others who also need it. The same way prayer travels, peace does too. You're part of something bigger than your room. You're part of the atmosphere of grace covering the earth tonight. That realization changes everything. You're not simply resting in peace, you're resting with peace. You're participating in it. When you wake tomorrow, you might not remember these moments in detail, but your body will. Your nervous system will remember the calm. Your heart will remember the rhythm of safety. Your spirit will carry the imprint of light. That's what real protection does. It doesn't only shield, it restores. And maybe that's what angels have been doing all along, restoring what fear steals, repairing what anxiety fractures, bringing the soul back into harmony with heaven. They are not distant beings doing abstract work, they're part of the ecosystem of love God designed around His children. You might never see them, but you've lived the results of their nearness, the peace that made no sense, the small coincidences that felt too kind to be random, the strength that showed up right when you were out of it. That's what protection looks like in motion. As you drift deeper into rest, their presence doesn't fade, it grows quieter, blending into the atmosphere. You don't need to sense them for them to remain. Their task doesn't depend on your awareness. It depends on God's command, and that command is constant. Guard them. Keep them. Surround them. And so they do. Their watch continues while you sleep. Their peace becomes the boundary of your dreams. Their light stands between you and anything that would steal rest. If the world could see the invisible tonight, it would find your room glowing softly, not from lamps or moonlight, but from the living presence of God's love manifest through His angels. That glow stretches into eternity. It doesn't stop at your window, it joins the greater current of divine care flowing across time and space. Every act of peace ripples outward, touching what you can't see. And just when you think the night has reached its deepest quiet, a new stillness settles in. Not silence, but serenity. It's as if the light around you has softened into water, calm, reflective, endless. That's where the angels lead you now. Not into dreams of struggle or noise, but into still waters, the place where the soul meets its reflection and finds it peaceful again. Let yourself go there. The guardians will stay. Their watch is unbroken. There's a moment in every night when even the rain seems to hush, when sound itself takes a breath and everything waits. You're in that moment now. Nothing moves, and yet everything feels alive. It's as if the world has stopped speaking so your soul can finally listen. This is what peace sounds like from the inside. For so long, you've been used to searching for calm in what surrounds you, in a quiet room, in soft music, in gentle voices. But tonight, calm has shifted locations. It's no longer outside trying to reach you, it's inside, flowing outward. The still waters aren't beside you, they are within you. You can sense it in the way your thoughts no longer rush to the next worry. You can feel it in the slow rhythm of your breathing, in the way your body rests without resistance. The peace you've been praying for has found its home in you. The psalm says, "He leads me beside still waters, He restores my soul." But maybe those waters aren't a destination you walk to, maybe they're the part of you that becomes quiet when you finally stop running. It's strange how the greatest transformations happen without noise. Rivers don't roar when they reach calm, they simply reflect the sky. And that's what's happening in you right now, the soul reflecting heaven, smooth and unbroken. For the first time in a while, nothing inside you feels like it's fighting. The heart isn't arguing with the mind. The body isn't tense against the spirit. Everything within you is agreeing on one truth: peace is possible. This peace doesn't need explanation. It doesn't depend on good news or perfect timing. It's not the kind you find after you fix everything, it's the kind that lets you stop fixing. It's the stillness that says, even if nothing changes, I can rest. That's not giving up. That's trust. The difference between exhaustion and peace is simple. Exhaustion happens when you've been running without purpose. Peace happens when you realize you were never meant to run alone. Let that awareness ripple through you like quiet waves. Every breath is a tide, every heartbeat a rhythm. You're no longer chasing calm, you're breathing it. You can picture it now, a clear lake at dawn. The surface unbroken, perfectly still. The air is cool, the sky pale with first light. There's no wind, no sound, just quiet reflection. That image isn't out there somewhere, it's happening in you. You are that lake now. Still, clear, awake. And when stillness becomes that deep, it starts to reveal things. Not painful things, true things. The soul, when calm, becomes honest. You start to see what matters and what doesn't. You start to understand which fears were shadows and which were lessons. Sometimes that's why God leads you into quiet places, not to isolate you, but to introduce you to yourself again. Because the person who lives beneath the noise is stronger, wiser, and more loved than you ever realized. Still waters don't just bring peace, they bring clarity. When you look into a calm lake, you see the reflection clearly. When your heart is calm, you see truth clearly. The distortions fade, the judgments quiet down, and what's left is love, not sentimental, but solid. And it's in that love that healing continues. Every gentle wave that moves across your soul washes away another layer of tension, another memory of hurry, another reason to worry. The world outside keeps turning, but here, time feels suspended. You can stay in this silence as long as you need. Nothing is waiting to pull you away. No voice is demanding you to be productive. God's not asking you to prove anything tonight. He's just saying, be still and know that I am God. That verse doesn't mean doing nothing, it means realizing that rest is an act of faith. Stillness is trust embodied. When the waters within you settle, they begin to reflect His presence. You don't need visions or thunder to know He's here. You just know. That quiet certainty, that's the evidence of peace. You can feel it now like a pulse that matches your own. Peace has weight. It's not emptiness, it's fullness. It fills the body the way light fills a room when curtains are drawn back. And as you breathe, you can sense that fullness deepening. Each inhale brings calm further in. Each exhale releases what no longer belongs, the restlessness, the worry, the what ifs. You are being purified through breath alone. This is the kind of rest that doesn't end when you wake up. It lingers in your tone of voice, in the way you respond to people, in how gently you treat yourself. That's how peace multiplies, by staying quiet enough to remember what matters. Still waters are not fragile. They look soft, but they hold power. Beneath that glassy surface is depth, movement that sustains life. That's the paradox of peace. It's not passive, it's powerful. You are being anchored in that depth right now. The current of divine calm is steady beneath you. You couldn't drift away even if you tried. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you feel safe inside your own skin. That's what happens when the waters settle. The noise of self-doubt fades, the echo of guilt quiets, and you realize you're home. That home isn't a place, it's awareness. It's knowing that wherever you go, this calm travels with you. Because it isn't borrowed from the world, it's born from within you. Peace given by God doesn't depend on the absence of storms. It exists right in the middle of them. It's the still water that keeps its mirror surface even when thunder rumbles above. So if another storm comes, and they always do, you'll remember this. You'll remember the feel of quiet spreading through your chest, the way the rain outside began to sound like music, the way you realized you were surrounded by love too vast to understand. You'll remember, and you'll find stillness again. You don't have to force it or earn it. It will rise naturally because the waters are already here. And as you rest in this deep calm, you begin to sense a subtle strength beneath it, not loud, not proud, but steady. Faith. It's been waiting underneath the surface, patient and sure. Peace has made room for it. The still waters have cleared the way. That's where we go next, into that quiet strength, the faith that guards the heart even when life shakes. Let the calm guide you there. There's a kind of strength that doesn't announce itself. It doesn't shout, it doesn't push, it simply stands. You can't always see it, but you feel it, deep beneath the calm, steady as the ground under your feet. That's faith. Faith doesn't look like fireworks. It doesn't always sound like confident words. Sometimes it looks like breathing through uncertainty, staying kind when you could be bitter, showing up again when no one sees it. Sometimes faith looks like just staying in peace, staying in hope, staying in the quiet when your instincts tell you to run. You may not realize it, but this quiet night is strengthening that kind of faith inside you. Every breath you take in calm is a declaration, I trust. Every thought that passes without anxiety reclaiming it is another whisper, I believe. Faith isn't built in a noise, it's built in a stillness that follows. Your heart, once tired from carrying so much, is learning something new tonight. It's learning that peace isn't fragile, that calm isn't weakness. The stillness that fills you right now isn't emptiness, it's protection. When Scripture says, above all, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it, it's not telling you to hide from the world. It's telling you to protect the space where God speaks. Because if peace is the atmosphere of the soul, faith is its shield. It doesn't block out the world, it keeps the truth alive inside you when the world tries to drown it out. Think of how the heart works. It beats without asking for permission, carrying life to every part of you. Faith does the same thing in the spirit. It keeps hope circulating, even when you're not conscious of it. It's the silent rhythm that keeps your soul alive. There were times, maybe, when you thought your faith was gone. When prayers felt unanswered, when silence stretched longer than you could bear, when nothing seemed to move the way it used to. But here you are, still breathing, still believing enough to listen, to hope, to rest. That means faith never left you. It was just quiet, waiting for you to find it again. Faith isn't loud. It's patient. And sometimes the very proof of faith isn't that you have answers, but that you keep showing up to ask. You've walked through seasons that tried to harden you, but they didn't succeed. You faced disappointments that could have closed your heart, but somehow it stayed open. That's faith's secret work. It guards even when you don't realize it. If you've ever survived heartbreak and still believed in love, that was faith. If you've ever gone through loss and still chosen gratitude, that was faith. If you've ever felt empty and still whispered, "God, I trust you," that was faith. Faith doesn't erase pain, it carries peace through it. You might not think of yourself as strong, but strength isn't always visible. It doesn't always flex. Sometimes it's the quiet decision to stay soft, to forgive, to hope again tomorrow. That's why peace had to come first. Still waters soften the soil of the heart so faith can take root again. You can feel those roots spreading quietly now, strong, unseen, steady. Faith is not about pretending you're unshaken. It's about knowing who holds you when you are. And God is holding you. Right now, as you lie here breathing slowly, your heart beats in rhythm with something eternal. Each pulse says, "I am kept. I am not alone. I am loved." This love isn't sentimental, it's structural. It's the architecture of the soul. When you rest in it, everything inside you begins to align again. Maybe your faith was once complicated, tied to outcomes, to timing, to control. But tonight, it's becoming simpler. It's not faith for something, it's faith in someone. You're not waiting for miracles, you're resting in the one who makes them. Faith that guards the heart isn't built on perfect understanding. It's built on trust that surpasses it. There's freedom in that kind of faith. Freedom from overthinking, from analyzing every moment, from needing to predict how God will work. Freedom to just breathe, knowing He already is. This is how faith feels when it's alive, quiet but firm, soft but sure. It doesn't need to prove itself, it just keeps standing. You might remember stories of people who held onto faith in impossible situations: Abraham looking at stars with no evidence of promise fulfilled, Daniel standing in a den with peace instead of fear, the disciples weathering storms because they believed who was in the boat with them. The same God who held them holds you now. The same faith that guarded them is rising inside you. When the heart is guarded by faith, life still brings storms, but they don't break you, they cleanse you. The winds come, but instead of uprooting you, they make you bend and grow deeper. It's strange how faith grows stronger in silence. The less you hear, the more you learn to trust. The less you control, the more space God has to move. The smaller you feel, the more His strength expands inside you. You may not have seen it before, but this is how healing becomes protection. The peace that soothed you earlier isn't passive, it's forming a shield now, not to isolate you, but to surround you. You can rest inside it, knowing you're safe even when life changes again. And it will change. It always does. But the heart guarded by faith doesn't fear change, it flows with it. Because faith doesn't cling to what was, it trusts what will be. That's the difference between fear and faith. Fear reacts. Faith remains. When the world around you grows uncertain again, when news, noise, or memories try to shake you, come back to this rhythm. The rhythm of calm. The rhythm of breath. The rhythm of faith. Faith lives in the pause between what you see and what you believe. And tonight, that pause is full of light. If you place your hand over your heart, you can feel it not just beating, but resonating. That's the pulse of faith guarding the most tender part of you. And as it guards, it transforms. It turns fragility into strength, fear into stillness, questions into quiet confidence. The same peace that once soothed the waters is now armor, invisible, weightless, indestructible. You don't have to fight to wear it. It's built into you now. Your faith has grown in the quiet, and it will protect you in the noise. It doesn't fade when you wake, it follows you, a calm certainty that God goes wherever you go. And as that truth settles, you begin to see something forming in the distance of your inner world, movement, shadow, shape. Not threatening, but real. Because even faith doesn't mean a life without darkness, it means courage in it. There are valleys ahead, yes, but this time you won't walk through them afraid. You'll walk through them aware. The shepherd hasn't left. The peace hasn't broken. The light hasn't dimmed. Faith is leading you forward, through shadow, not away from it. So take a slow breath. Let it carry you to the next place. The night continues, but fear does not. Night has its own kind of landscape. You don't always see it, but you feel it, the soft edges, the cool air, the uncertainty of distance. Every step in the dark feels slower, more cautious. And yet, if you pay attention, the dark is where you start to hear what the light can't show you. You've entered that space before, the moments when hope felt faint, when prayers went unanswered, when clarity seemed far away. Maybe you didn't call it darkness, but it felt like it a season of shadow, when even faith had to learn how to walk without sight. This is what David meant when he wrote, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." It wasn't a metaphor for death alone. It was about living, about the times when life itself felt like a valley. Shadows don't appear without light. They only exist because something bright is nearby. That means every shadow you've walked through was proof that God's light was still shining, you just couldn't see its source. You might remember nights when you lay awake wondering, "Where are you, God?" The silence was heavy, almost unbearable. But now, looking back, you realize that somehow you were carried through it. You survived. The proof of His presence was in your survival. Every person who's ever walked in faith has known that valley. Even the strongest saints have faced darkness, not because they lack belief, but because shadows are part of growth. Faith isn't sunlight all the time. Sometimes it's a lamp that only lights one step at a time. That's what this part of your journey is. The valley is not punishment, it's passage. The night feels long, but it isn't endless. The shepherd is still leading. He hasn't taken you somewhere strange, he's guiding you through something sacred. When we're in the light, we see details. But when we're in the dark, we learn to trust. There's beauty in that kind of trust, not because it feels good, but because it refines. In darkness, your eyes adjust. You start to see things you couldn't before, outlines of strength, glimmers of grace, quiet movements of hope. You might not realize it, but even now, you're walking through shadows in your own life. Maybe uncertainty about the future. Maybe fear of loss. Maybe questions you've been afraid to ask. But the light hasn't left you, it's simply changed shape. Sometimes God dims the light around you so you can notice the light within you. That's what's happening tonight. In the stillness of this darkness, faith has become a quiet flame, small, yes, but steady. It flickers when the wind passes, but it doesn't go out. That's what endurance looks like. The valley isn't as wide as it feels. The darkness isn't as thick as it seems. It's teaching you to walk by feel, to trust the ground beneath your feet, to listen to the guidance that doesn't come from sight. If you close your eyes now, you might sense it, the shepherd's hand, steady and familiar. Not pulling, not pushing, just resting gently on your back, keeping you from drifting off the path. You don't need to rush through this darkness. There's no timer, no deadline. Healing happens here too. Growth happens here too. The world tells you that darkness is the enemy, but heaven knows it as a classroom. Every saint, every prophet, every ordinary believer has learned something precious in shadow that they couldn't in light, that God doesn't disappear in silence, He deepens. Maybe that's why you can't always feel His presence. He's not gone, He's gone deeper. You can walk through the unknown without losing yourself because you've already found your anchor in faith. You've learned that peace is portable, that light is internal, that guidance doesn't always shout, sometimes it hums. If you pause now, listen closely. The darkness has its own kind of music, slower, richer, made of heartbeat and breath. You're part of that rhythm. You're not lost in it, you're being tuned by it. And when the world goes quiet like this, something happens that no noise can accomplish. Your spirit hears again. It hears the pulse of grace beneath the uncertainty, the whisper of purpose under the pain. Maybe the shadows aren't trying to swallow you. Maybe they're trying to show you contrast, to remind you what light feels like when it returns. Every time you've survived a shadow, you come out wiser. Every valley has reshaped you, stripped away what didn't serve, and left behind something purer. That's how faith grows, not by avoiding darkness, but by discovering light inside it. If you could see yourself from above, you'd see a figure walking slowly through a valley of soft mist. It's dark, yes, but it's not hostile. The ground is safe, the air cool and gentle. Around you, faint glows move quietly, the presence of the same angels who have been with you since the beginning. They don't stop at the edges of fear. They go with you through it. The shepherd leads the way, carrying a lantern that never dims. The light falls just far enough for the next few steps, never more. You used to wish he'd show you the whole path, but now you understand, if you saw it all at once, you wouldn't learn to trust. Faith built in daylight is belief. Faith built in darkness is intimacy. Every step you take here becomes a seed for strength later. You're not losing time in the valley, you're gaining endurance. Even Jesus knew shadows. Gethsemane was one, the cross another. But resurrection always followed. That's the rhythm of God, darkness, then dawn. Silence, then song. Death, then life. You are walking that same rhythm tonight. The valley isn't the end, it's the in-between, the sacred passage between what was and what's coming. And while you walk it, you're not unseen. Heaven knows your pace, your path, your heartbeat. You're not late. You're not behind. You're simply walking through something meant to grow you, not break you. Let that truth settle deeper than fear ever reached. You're not in the dark because you've forgotten. You're in the dark because you're being formed. When dawn comes, and it will, you'll see the light wasn't gone, it was being refined in you. Until then, you can rest even as you walk. The shepherd's hand won't lift. The angel's watch won't waver. The light within won't fade. Take this last breath of the valley and let it remind you every shadow ends where restoration begins. That's where we're going next. The valley is behind you now. You can feel it, not because everything looks brighter yet, but because something inside has shifted. The air feels lighter, the weight on your chest less heavy. You are no longer walking to survive, you're walking to rest. Somewhere in the night, a quiet dawn has begun to rise, not in the sky but in you. It's the slow, holy kind of morning, the one that doesn't come with sunlight but with awareness. Awareness that you made it through, that you're still here, that something sacred has been rebuilt where you thought only ruin remained. He restores my soul. Those words aren't poetic anymore. They're lived. They mean what's happening right now. Restoration isn't about going back to who you were, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be. Think of how the world looks after rain, the leaves brighter, the air cleaner, the earth softened. That's what the inside of you feels like right now. God has been raining peace on the dry soil of your soul, and it's finally soaking in. You may not see it, but everything inside you has been rearranged by grace. The places that once held pain now hold wisdom. The corners that echoed fear now hum with quiet faith. Even the cracks are beautiful, they let the light through. Restoration doesn't erase the past, it transforms it. The same memories that once hurt now serve as proof of healing. The same scars that once burnt now shine like windows. When God restores, He doesn't simply return what was lost. He multiplies what remains. You felt that, haven't you? The sense that even after breaking, there's more love now. More empathy. More depth. Pain taught you compassion, and compassion became strength. That's restoration, strength shaped by softness. Sometimes people think healing means forgetting. But God's restoration remembers and redeems. You can see it in the stories of Scripture. Job didn't just receive back what was taken, he received double. Joseph wasn't just freed from prison, he was elevated to purpose. David didn't just survive his failures, he found songs in them. You're part of that same rhythm. The shepherd who led you through the valley didn't stop at survival. He brought you here to still waters, to green pastures, to renewal. Restoration doesn't happen all at once. It happens like morning, gradual, patient, soft. The world doesn't rush the dawn, and neither does God. He lets light unfold until your eyes can bear it. If you close your eyes right now, you can feel that unfolding. The breath feels deeper. The heart feels wider. You're not forcing anything, you're receiving. Every inhale is a return. Every exhale a release. And as you breathe, you realize that the very things you thought would destroy you became the soil for growth. You didn't break, you opened. That's the mystery of restoration. It happens in surrender, not in striving. You didn't earn this peace. You yielded to it. You stopped trying to rebuild your soul with your own hands, and God started doing it for you. That's what the valley was for. It entered your arms so He could fill them. Maybe now you can see why the shadows had to come first, because they cleared the clutter, softened the soil, prepared you to receive light again. And now, look what's growing there: peace, gratitude, faith, a sense of safety you didn't know you could feel again. If the soul could speak, it would sigh. That's the sound of restoration, not excitement, not triumph, but contentment. Contentment doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you stop demanding that it be. It means you trust that even the unfinished parts of your story are still in good hands. You can almost feel the shepherd's presence again, not as rescue this time, but as companionship. He's not pulling you from danger, he's walking beside you in calm. You might picture him now, leading you through an open field, morning mist rising, the horizon golden with new light. The ground beneath your feet is damp but steady. There's no hurry, no fear, no pressure, just movement in peace. Every step is prayer. Every breath is gratitude. Every heartbeat is a reminder, He restores my soul. You can sense the difference between the way you entered this night and the way you are now. You began weary, tense, searching for control. Now you feel lighter, slower, softer, like your spirit has exhaled after holding its breath for too long. That's what divine restoration feels like, not a rush of emotion, but a steady returning to wholeness. And maybe now you're beginning to understand something that can only be learned by living it. Peace isn't something God gives as a gift, peace is what He makes you into. You've become peace-shaped. Every act of trust, every breath of surrender, every night you stayed faithful without answers, it formed you. That's why restoration lasts. Because it's not just an experience, it's identity. When you wake tomorrow, you might notice how different the world looks, not because it changed, but because you did. When your soul is restored, you stop seeing everything through the lens of survival and start seeing it through the lens of gratitude. Even small things become holy: sunlight through curtains, the sound of birds, laughter that rises unexpectedly. Restoration gives you new eyes, the kind that find beauty where others see ordinary. This is how God heals the human heart, not with thunder, but with perspective. The miracle isn't that He fixes what was broken, it's that He makes you grateful for the breaking because of what it taught you. You are softer now, but stronger. You are quieter, but deeper. You become what peace looks like when it grows roots. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it inside you, or a quiet hum, like the sound of still water moving beneath the earth. It's the song of restoration, echoing through every cell of your being. You've become living proof that nothing is wasted, not pain, not loss, not silence. Every season has been folded into grace. And that realization that every dark road led here fills the soul with the purest kind of gratitude. Not the loud kind, but the kind that trembles. The kind that says, "You were with me even there." You can rest in that now. The need to understand has dissolved. The need to prove has faded. What's left is trust. God's restoration doesn't depend on what you can fix, it depends on how willing you are to rest in what He's already repairing. The soul restored doesn't chase meaning, it carries it. Everywhere it goes, it leaves a trail of calm. That's why peace spreads. Because the soul at rest becomes a refuge for others. Your healing is never just yours, it's part of the larger restoration of the world. Every time you forgive, you mend something in creation. Every time you choose gentleness over reaction, you build a bridge for someone else's healing. You are part of something vast and sacred. And as that truth sinks in, you realize this restoration doesn't mean the journey is over. It means you're ready to walk differently now. The next step isn't striving, it's dwelling in the secret place of peace, where the restored soul lives without fear. The shepherd doesn't just heal you to move you, he heals you to keep you, to dwell with you. So breathe one last time into this awareness. Feel the new rhythm of your soul, not the rhythm of survival, but of serenity. You've crossed the valley. You've walked through the night. You've been covered, guided, restored. And now you're being invited deeper into the quiet heart of communion, the secret place of peace, where the soul no longer wanders but abides. Let's go there. There is a place inside you that words can't reach. It doesn't need sound or proof or movement. It exists beneath thought, beneath emotion, beneath even faith itself. It's the place where your soul meets the heart of God, the secret place of peace. You've been moving toward it this entire night without even realizing. Every moment of calm, every breath of surrender, every whisper of gratitude has been a step closer. Now you're here, and not outside yourself, but within. It doesn't look like much from the surface. There are no visions, no voices, no signs. Just a vast, quiet presence. Stillness so deep it almost feels alive. This is where God waits, not impatiently, but eternally. You were never meant to live far from this space. You were made to dwell here, to return to it again and again, to remember that everything outside is temporary, but what you feel here is forever. The secret place of peace isn't a hiding place, it's a dwelling place. You've spent so much of your life searching for stability, in people, in plans, in promises, but stability was never meant to be found out there. It was meant to be found in here, in this meeting point between your breath and His Spirit. Take a slow breath now. Feel the stillness responding. The air doesn't resist, it joins you. The silence doesn't feel empty, it feels awake. You can tell you've reached the secret place because there's no urgency here. There's nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nothing to chase. All the questions that once screamed for answers fall quiet, not because they've been solved, but because they've lost their power. In this place, God doesn't speak in sentences. He speaks in presence. And that presence says everything, I am here. You can stay in that awareness for as long as you need. Let it sink in, not just as an idea, but as reality. The kind that fills your chest with warmth and your eyes with soft tears you don't need to hide. Peace isn't a visitor here, it's the atmosphere. Maybe you felt this before, in small flashes, a sunset that made you forget your worries, a song that stilled your heart, a prayer that ended in silence but left you calm. Those moments weren't random. They were reminders, echoes of this place within you. The secret place of peace has always been here. It's just that the noise of life made it hard to hear. When you enter this space, something subtle happens, the weight of identity begins to fade. Not because you disappear, but because everything false falls away. The roles, the fears, the expectations, all of it dissolves until only truth remains. And that truth is simple, you belong. You've never been an outsider to God's presence. You've only been distracted. Here, there is no distance between you and Him. No effort required to reach, no ladder to climb, no ritual to perfect. The connection is immediate. It always was. This is the place Jesus described when He said, "The kingdom of God is within you." Not a faraway realm, not a someday promise, a reality, right here, now. The kingdom doesn't arrive with fanfare. It arrives with stillness. And in that stillness, love becomes more than a word. It becomes the air itself. There's no fear here because there's no separation. You're not trying to reach God, you're remembering that you were never apart. That realization changes everything. In this secret place, the storms outside can keep raging, but they don't reach you. The opinions of others lose their volume. The shadows of past and future stop pulling at you. You are anchored, not by control, but by presence. That's what peace really is, not the absence of struggle, but the presence of something greater than it. You can feel it now like a quiet current flowing upward, like warmth gathering in your chest. The same spirit that calmed the sea now calms you. The same silence that held creation before sound existed now holds you. Stay here. There's no need to rush. If thoughts come, let them pass like clouds over water. Don't chase them. The sky beneath is still blue, still endless. Here in the secret place, time slows down until it almost disappears. Minutes lose their edges, hours blur. You are not waiting for peace, you are inside it. Let that realization fill you. Let it reshape your breathing, your heartbeat, your awareness. You are not striving for God's attention, you are breathing His breath. When you finally stop trying to control your peace, peace controls you, softly, lovingly, completely. Maybe this is what David felt when he wrote, "Surely I have calmed and quieted my soul like a child weaned with its mother." It's the picture of rest so deep it stops needing explanation. That's where you are. And from this depth, gratitude rises naturally. You don't force it. It bubbles up like spring water. Gratitude not for things, but for being. For existing in this presence. For realizing that peace was never gone, it was waiting for permission to surface. You can whisper thank you if you want, not because He demands it, but because your soul wants to. Gratitude is the soul's way of smiling. From here, life begins again differently. You start to understand that the outer world is just reflection, that nothing truly valuable can be taken from you, because what matters most, this peace, this connection, this love, lives in the part of you that can't be touched. This secret place is not meant to be a refuge you visit once. It's meant to be a home you live from. You'll leave this night soon, return to the world, face responsibilities and sounds and conversations. But you won't be leaving this place behind, you'll be carrying it with you. The peace that fills you now will travel in your voice, in your posture, in the quiet way you move through the day. People will feel it even if they don't know why. Because peace speaks louder than noise. And when the world tries to pull you back into chaos, you'll know the way back here. You'll close your eyes, take a breath, and return, instantly, effortlessly. That's what God wanted you to learn all along. That you never needed to search for Him outside. That He's been waiting in the stillness, patient and kind, saying, "Welcome home." Here in the secret place of peace, you don't just rest, you're renewed. Every layer of your being remembers what it's like to live without fear. Your soul starts to overflow with something new, joy, gratitude, light. It's as if this peace, so abundant, so full, begins to spill over the edges of your heart, not to waste, but to bless. And that's where we go next, into the overflow, into the joy that comes when peace becomes more than enough. Something is happening inside you now, something subtle yet powerful. The stillness that once simply held you is now moving, expanding, overflowing. It's no longer just peace sitting quietly in the soul, it's gratitude spilling into every thought, every breath, every small detail of this moment. This is what it means when the psalm says, "My cup overflows." It's not about material blessings or possessions. It's the realization that what God has placed within you is more than enough, so much that it can't help but spill over into the world around you. For so long, you prayed for peace as if it were a drop you had to catch before it vanished. But now you see, peace isn't a drop, it's a river. And that river has been flowing through you all along. Tonight, it's no longer something you chase, it's something you release. Your cup overflows when you finally stop trying to contain the good that's been given. When you stop worrying about what's next and start noticing what's already here. The breath in your lungs. The softness in your heart. The presence that never leaves. Overflow begins with awareness. There was a time when you believed joy was the result of perfect circumstances. But this joy, this quiet, sacred joy, isn't dependent on perfection. It's born out of peace. It grows in gratitude. It lives in surrender. You're feeling it right now, that warmth in your chest, that lightness in your thoughts, that strange feeling of abundance even if nothing has changed externally. That's the overflow. It's God whispering through every cell of your being, you already have enough. You already are enough. The world often teaches scarcity, that there's never enough time, love, attention, or rest. But in the secret place you just came from, you learned the opposite. You discovered that in God's presence, there's no lack. There's only fullness. That fullness can't stay contained. It begins to move outward naturally, like a spring that can't stop flowing. It moves into the way you think, the way you speak, the way you look at others. You start seeing beauty in places you once ignored, the small kindnesses, the ordinary miracles, the faces that remind you of grace. You begin to live differently. Not from emptiness, but from overflow. The one who lives from overflow doesn't need to grasp. They give easily, not because they have everything, but because they know they'll never run out of what truly matters. You can feel that shift happening now. The tightness that once guarded your heart has softened. The part of you that always reached for more has exhaled. The anxiety that told you you were missing something has gone quiet. In its place is gratitude, a steady, glowing gratitude that doesn't fade when the lights go out. Maybe you're remembering moments of your life now, times when you didn't see this fullness, when you felt empty and uncertain. Look at those memories through tonight's light. Even then, God was filling your cup. You just couldn't see it. Every unanswered prayer that redirected you. Every disappointment that humbled you. Every loss that made room for compassion. It was all part of the filling. You see, God doesn't just pour peace into you. He pours it through you. That's why it overflows. Because His love is too vast to fit inside a single heart. This is why your healing matters, not only for you, but for those you'll meet. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, patience instead of reaction, kindness instead of judgment, someone else is blessed by your overflow. That's how heaven touches earth, not with miracles in the sky, but through hearts that overflow quietly, faithfully, daily. You are one of those hearts now. You've become a vessel, not perfect, not polished, but open. And openness is the condition for overflow. You don't have to force this. Overflow isn't performance. It's presence in motion. You can picture it if you want, a cup sitting beneath a fountain, filling until it spills over the edges, not in waste but in generosity. The water runs down the sides, flowing outward to nourish the dry ground around it. That's your soul tonight, overflowing into the unseen places that need healing, into people you'll never meet but who will feel the echo of your peace through the way you live. The peace you carry changes rooms. The love you embody changes atmospheres. The grace you give changes hearts. And all of it starts here, in this quiet night, where you decided to rest instead of resist. That decision was the turning point. It allowed God's peace to expand inside you until it became too full to stay contained. Maybe now you understand why your cup had to be emptied before it could overflow. Empty cups can't hold blessing, they must first make space for it. Your emptiness was never punishment, it was preparation. Everything you lost made room for what truly lasts. And now, the sound of that overflow is unmistakable. It's laughter that returns after silence, forgiveness that comes easily, love that flows without fear. Overflow doesn't shout, it sings. And its song is gratitude. You can whisper it softly now, if you want, Thank you for what was taken. Thank you for what remains. Thank you for what's yet to come. That's what it means to overflow, to give thanks before you see the reason. As you rest here, you might sense the presence of peace expanding again, not just around you, but through you. The same peace that filled your mind is now touching your body, calming muscles, slowing the pulse, softening the breath. Healing happens in this overflow. God doesn't pour peace only into your thoughts, He pours it into your very being. Into every cell, every nerve, every place that has held tension. That's how divine healing works, quietly, naturally, in the overflow. The love you feel tonight isn't small. It's infinite, and it's personal. It knows your name, your fears, your story. It knows how to restore not just your soul, but your joy. And as this peace keeps expanding, you begin to sense something luminous ahead, light. Not just the morning sun, but the light that comes from understanding. The kind that doesn't blind but reveals. You realize that what's overflowing from you isn't just peace, it's illumination, the awareness of divine light that's always been with you. The psalmist said, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear?" That's what your soul is learning next. That overflow turns into illumination. That when peace fills every part of you, it naturally becomes light for the world. And so the journey continues. The cup overflows, and that overflow becomes radiance. The same peace that filled you now begins to shine. Take one more slow breath. Let gratitude settle deep within. Your cup is full. Your heart is open. Your peace is alive. And the light is waiting. Light has a way of finding you, even when you're not looking for it. It doesn't ask for permission to enter, it just arrives, quiet, gentle, unstoppable. That's what grace feels like. And tonight, that's what's filling you. The Lord is my light. Those words are not a declaration shouted into the air, they're a realization whispered from within. You don't have to go searching for the light anymore. You are standing in it. It's strange how long we can live surrounded by light and still feel lost in the dark. The truth is, the light never left, our eyes just needed time to adjust. And now they are. After the valley, after the stillness, after the overflowing peace, something begins to shift. The shadows that once felt so heavy no longer have power. You start to see how they were never permanent, only temporary shapes cast by a stronger brightness behind them. You begin to understand that the light of God isn't just around you, it's within you. It's not a distant flame waiting for your return. It's the pulse that has been guiding you from the very start. When you realize that, something changes forever. Fear loses its vocabulary. Worry runs out of energy. Doubt forgets its way home. Because once you've seen the light, you can never truly go back to darkness, only moments of shadow that remind you how bright grace really is. You don't need to manufacture that light, you simply let it reveal itself. The same way the sun doesn't struggle to rise, it just does. Light doesn't hurry. It doesn't force. It simply is. So, you breathe in, and the light moves deeper. You exhale, and it expands. Each breath becomes an act of illumination. It touches every part of you that once felt dim, the places where pain lingered, where fear hid, where doubt whispered. Light doesn't argue with darkness, it replaces it. Quietly. Completely. The psalm says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear?" It's a question that doesn't need an answer, because the answer is already in the feeling. When light lives inside you, fear becomes irrelevant. The same presence that calmed your storms now shines through you. You are no longer only receiving peace, you are radiating it. Think about what happens when light passes through water. It bends, softens, and creates color. That's what God's light does when it moves through the human soul. It doesn't stay the same. It becomes more beautiful, more personal. It becomes you. Maybe this is what it means to be made in His image, not in form, but in light. The world may still carry shadows, but you carry illumination. You're no longer reacting to darkness, you're revealing it for what it is, absence, not presence. Darkness is nothing more than space waiting for light. And every time you love instead of fear, forgive instead of resent, trust instead of panic, you bring that light into being. The beauty of divine light is that it doesn't erase what's real. It doesn't deny pain or hide sorrow. It simply reveals the grace within them. It shows that even in the hardest moments, something holy was still holding you together. You may not have seen it before, but the evidence is everywhere. The way you kept breathing when you wanted to give up. The way hope returned after silence. The way peace found you again tonight. That's light, not a metaphor, but a miracle. Every healed wound becomes a window. Every scar becomes a reflection. Light doesn't ask you to forget, it teaches you how to see differently. You start to see how nothing was wasted. The very things that once felt like darkness were shaping your ability to hold more light. And now, as that realization spreads through you, something else happens. The light begins to move outward. It's not content to stay hidden. It wants to reach. It wants to bless. You don't even have to try. People will sense it in your calm voice, your gentle eyes, the way you no longer hurry through moments. That's how divine light behaves. It spills quietly into everything around it. And the best part? The more it shines, the stronger it gets. You can't run out of it because you were never its source. You're the reflection, not the flame. That takes the pressure off, doesn't it? You don't have to force yourself to be inspiring or perfect. You just have to stay open, and the light will do what light does, shine. The same God who said, "Let there be light," is still saying it in you, through you, for you. Every time you wake with peace instead of fear, every time you choose kindness instead of bitterness, every time you rest in trust instead of control, is creating light again. That's creation continuing through your life. You are not just part of God's world, you are part of His ongoing work. And even when you forget, even when you feel dim again, the light doesn't leave. It only waits. It's patient because it knows who you are, a vessel of divine brightness, even when covered by clouds. The dawn always returns. The flame always flickers back to life. That's why you don't have to fear the next valley, the next challenge, the next dark night. You've learned the truth. Light doesn't avoid the dark, it transforms it. God's light isn't fragile. It doesn't tremble when storms come. It shines through them. And that's what He's doing in you now. You've walked through nights that tried to break you, but here you are, still glowing. You've faced things that tried to steal your faith, but the flame remains. You've been through seasons that tried to silence you, but grace keeps singing. The light has proven itself faithful. You can feel it even now, not loud, not harsh, but steady, like dawn approaching a quiet landscape. It's warm but gentle, powerful but tender. The Lord is your light, not a distant star, but a living flame that dwells inside your very being. Let that light settle into every corner that's still learning to trust. Let it fill the doubts with warmth, the tired places with clarity, the uncertain paths with quiet courage. Because when light fills the soul, even weakness becomes strength. Even waiting becomes purpose. Even pain becomes revelation. That's the next truth waiting for you, or the way divine strength reveals itself in the very moments you feel least capable. But before we move there, take one last breath with this light. Feel it rise from your heart like the sun behind the hills of your being. You don't need to reach for it. You are already in it. The Lord is your light. You walk in His brightness. You rest in His warmth. And the same light that now fills you will be the strength that carries you forward. There are moments when even light feels heavy. When your spirit, no matter how peaceful it's been, feels tired again. The truth is, faith doesn't erase exhaustion, it gives you somewhere to rest inside it. You've learned what peace feels like. You've felt the calm, the light, the renewal. But now, you face something deeper, the kind of quiet struggle that comes not from chaos, but from being human. The body weakens, the mind drifts, the heart grows heavy. And yet, here in that softness, God's strength begins to move. Divine strength doesn't arrive with noise. It doesn't make demands. It doesn't turn you into something superhuman. It moves through your weakness like breath through a flute, creating something beautiful from something hollow. Maybe you've always imagined strength as something loud, determination, effort, control. But tonight, you're learning a different definition. Strength isn't always the ability to carry, sometimes it's the courage to let go. There's a kind of holiness in admitting you're tired. When you whisper, "God, I can't do this on my own," heaven doesn't hear failure, it hears trust. Because only a surrendered soul invites divine strength in. Think about how trees survive storms. They don't resist the wind, they bend with it. They let go of branches that can't hold, they shed leaves that aren't needed. Their strength isn't in how they fight the storm, but in how they yield to it. That's what divine strength looks like. It's not the kind that denies weakness, it's the kind that transforms it into wisdom. You can feel that strength moving now, even as your body lies still. It's quiet, almost invisible, but it's there, a slow, steady pulse beneath everything fragile. Maybe you've had nights like this before, where your thoughts wandered to the edges of doubt. You wondered if you were enough, if your faith was real, if you'd ever feel strong again. Those moments didn't disqualify you, they revealed your need for grace. Divine strength doesn't wait for perfection. It meets you exactly where you fall. Remember what Paul wrote, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." That verse isn't a promise of escape, it's a revelation of partnership. God doesn't remove the weakness, He fills it. That's what's happening right now. You may not feel powerful, but you are being sustained. The strength flowing through you isn't borrowed, it's divine. Every slow breath is proof of that. Every moment you choose to stay in peace instead of panic is evidence that strength has taken root. You don't need to earn this power, you only need to allow it. If you close your eyes and listen, you might sense it, a gentle hum within, not of muscle or willpower, but of spirit. It's the hum of endurance, the vibration of life continuing through grace alone. That's divine strength, quiet, constant, compassionate. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand progress. It simply carries you, step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. There's freedom in this kind of dependence. You were never meant to hold everything together by yourself. You were meant to be held. And as that truth sinks in, the idea of weakness stops feeling shameful. It starts feeling sacred. Because in every soft place where you let go, God enters. That's why the broken become healers. That's why the weary become wise. That's why the humble carry peace that the proud will never know. Strength born in weakness carries empathy. It knows how to sit with pain, not rush it. It knows how to love the fragile because it's learned to love itself. You might not have noticed, but your faith has been growing this entire time, not in the moments you felt strong, but in the ones when you felt like giving up and didn't. That's divine strength in motion. It's the hand that steadies you when everything shakes. It's the whisper that says, "Keep going," when nothing else does. It's the warmth that rises in your chest when you're too tired to pray. Strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it sighs. Sometimes it just stays. And that's enough. If you could see your spirit right now, you'd see light moving through cracks, the same cracks you once tried to hide. They're glowing now, not because they've been fixed, but because grace has found them. Your weakness has become a canvas for glory. That's how God works. He doesn't choose perfect vessels, He chooses willing ones. Even the disciples weren't chosen for their strength, they were chosen for their openness. Their courage wasn't in their power, but in their surrender. And tonight, you're living that same truth. You're lying here, open, honest, vulnerable, and that is holy. The world tells you to stand tall, but heaven tells you to fall softly, into love, into rest, into the arms that have never failed you. So fall. Not into despair, but into grace. Let it catch you. Let it hold you. Let it remind you that your strength has never depended on you. The same God who spun galaxies and stitched oceans is the one lifting your spirit tonight. The same hands that shaped stars are holding you through fatigue. You don't have to rise on your own. You don't have to fix what's fragile. Just breathe. Every breath you take is participation in divine strength. You inhale grace, you exhale fear. And as you do, your spirit grows lighter. The weariness that once felt endless begins to fade. The exhaustion that lived in your bones begins to lift. God's strength doesn't replace your humanity, it renews it. You're not becoming less human, you're becoming whole. You might picture it now, the morning after a long storm. The world is quiet, wet, shining. Trees that bent under the wind stand upright again, their roots deeper, their branches cleaner. That's you. You've bent, you've swayed, but you've never broken. You're standing again, not by your own doing, but by grace. Divine strength isn't a burst of energy, it's endurance born of peace. It's the calm refusal to give up when the world tells you to collapse. And the beauty is that this strength isn't temporary. It will stay with you. It will follow you into every morning that feels too heavy, every moment that feels too long, every challenge that feels too big. Because strength that comes from God doesn't fade, it deepens. And even when you forget it's there, it will remember you. This is the quiet miracle of weakness. It becomes the doorway to everlasting strength. So if your body feels tired, let it. If your heart feels tender, honor it. If your mind feels fragile, rest it. None of that disqualifies you. It makes you more open to the strength that heals all things. And in that surrender, something else begins to form, protection. The kind that doesn't come from walls, but from the Word. Because divine strength doesn't only lift you, it guards you. It wraps you in truth so that when the world shakes again, you stand secure, untouched in spirit. That's where we go next. The strength you feel now will soon become protection, a living word that shields you, a promise that holds you. Take a breath. Feel it settle. You're safe, you're covered, and the light that strengthens you now will guide you into peace that cannot be broken. There is a silence that feels like safety. You can sense it now, not the empty kind, but the full kind. The air itself feels gentler, as if something unseen is standing guard over your rest. That's the power of His Word. Long before you spoke your first prayer tonight, His promises were already circling around you. They were waiting for you to slow down enough to hear them again, to feel their weight, to remember their truth. The Word of God is not a sentence on a page, it's a living shelter. It breathes. It surrounds. It speaks in whispers you can feel more than hear. You might not have realized it, but every verse you've ever heard, every promise that ever comforted you, still lives in you. They don't fade when you forget them, they keep echoing in your spirit, quietly shaping your peace. That's what's happening right now. The Word is doing its work, not through effort, but through presence. When the psalm says, "He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall trust, His truth shall be your shield and buckler," it's describing what you're feeling now, that invisible covering, that peace that wraps around you like warmth. Truth is not just something you believe, it's something that protects you. You've walked through the valley. You've been restored. You found the secret place of peace. And now, as night stretches its final hours, you rest inside the Word, not as an idea, but as reality. God's promises are not fragile. They don't fade with time or depend on mood. They are eternal structures, foundations built before your first breath, still standing long after every fear has fallen. You're lying inside one now. When He said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you," that was not poetry, it was architecture. His presence built a home around your soul, and nothing can take it down. Even when you doubt, the promise doesn't break. Even when you forget, the Word doesn't move. It stands firm, waiting for your awareness to return. That's divine protection. Not a force field, not superstition, truth itself keeping you safe. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, the sound of peace settling like dust on quiet ground. Every verse you've ever needed is in that sound, "Fear not. Be still. Rest in me." The Word doesn't chase away the night, it transforms it. It teaches the darkness to glow. You might think of it like this: each promise is a candle, and every time you remember one, another light flickers on inside your spirit. Soon the whole room glows, not because the night vanished, but because it was filled with truth. That's how you know you're protected. Not because life will never bring storms again, but because the Word has taught you how to sleep through them. Jesus did. Remember that? The storm raging, the waves crashing, and yet he slept, not because he didn't care, but because he knew the storm could not undo what the Word had already declared. That same peace lives in you. The Word written in ancient times still breathes inside your modern heart. It hasn't lost its power. It hasn't aged. It's alive, flowing through every beat of your being. You can rest in that truth, not halfway, not cautiously, but completely. When God speaks, creation listens. When He promises, reality bends to obey. And when He says you are His, no voice, not fear, not guilt, not circumstance, can contradict it. That's what divine protection means. Nothing outside you can undo what's already sealed within you. Right now, you're lying under a covering older than the world, the Word that spoke light into existence. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," is whispering, "Let there be peace." And peace answers immediately. Every worry that tries to rise up tonight dissolves under that sound. Every anxious thought finds its rest. The Word speaks, and the storm stops, not with thunder, but with stillness. That's how it works. Truth doesn't fight lies, it replaces them. So if a thought of fear comes, let the Word answer for you. You don't need to argue with it. Just remember, the Lord is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Say it softly if you want. Not to convince yourself, but to remind the atmosphere who you belong to. Your voice doesn't have to be loud to carry power, it just has to agree with truth. Even whispering His word in your mind builds walls that fear cannot cross. Because the Word is alive, it listens to itself. You might feel your body sinking deeper into rest now, as if being gently lowered into arms that will never drop you. That's exactly what's happening. You are being held by truth. No unseen thing can touch what is sealed by the Word. No darkness can enter where light has been spoken. This is not imagination, it's spiritual reality. You are protected, not by luck, not by chance, but by covenant. And when you wake tomorrow, the same protection that guarded you tonight will walk beside you. The same peace that covered you in darkness will shine in daylight. Because the Word doesn't sleep. Even as you drift deeper, it keeps working, repairing, cleansing, renewing, defending. Every verse is like breath moving through your spirit, aligning your thoughts, steadying your heart. You don't have to hold on anymore, the Word is holding you. The promises of God are not delicate, they are eternal machinery. They keep running even when you're too tired to notice. Right now, as your breathing slows, as your muscles loosen, as your consciousness begins to fade into dream, the Word is still speaking your name. It's still saying, "You are mine. You are safe. You are loved." You can rest in that without fear. Because when your soul dwells in the Word, it cannot be shaken. When your heart trusts the promise, it cannot be broken. The world outside will move, change, shift, but here, in this sacred stillness, nothing can move you. You are protected by something greater than time, stronger than death, quieter than fear. You are protected by His Word. And that protection doesn't end when the night does. It follows you into morning, into every choice, every thought, every breath. The Word will go before you, light your path, and guide you gently into peace again and again. So now, let it do what it's always done. Let the Word cover you like wings. Let it hold you through the night. Let it sing to you as you sleep, "Be still, my child. You are safe in me." And as you drift deeper, know this, the same Word that began creation is still creating peace in you. Sleep under that truth. Rest in that promise. Breathe in that presence. You are covered. You are seen. You are loved. Always.